Sounds good.
So I just ain't gonna be around to get.
We'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm glad we got that cleared up.
I feel so much better already.
I think it was done last time.
Did we just become best friends?
All right, we have the agenda in front of us. Is there any questions on that? Any additions or corrections? If not, is there
Make a motion to approve.
is there a second? Second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Approval of previous board meetings, minutes from October 28th. Any additions or corrections to those?
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Now is public comment. Anybody in the public would like to make a comment? Now is your chance to do so. Okay, looks like we have nobody. Appointments, we'll get that done right away. Larry, the USA Gravel National Championship event recap and update.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Larry Kirch with the City of La Crescent and
Jeremiah Barish, Explorer Lacrosse.
Paul Reardon, I'm on the Routes Committee and run the mechanical support for all of the national events.
Okay, welcome.
well, thank you for having us today. We just, a couple things, some updates. Just thank the county for their help on this project. Brian Pogodinsky was extremely helpful, bent over backwards for us, so thank you, Brian. We didn't say that before. Also through emergency government and all the radios and all that stuff was extremely helpful for us, so we appreciate the county's efforts with us here. So I did supply some information. There's only one typo. There's probably more than one typo in my memo, but the juniors, we did have 150. So if you were trying to add up all the numbers, they didn't add up. So instead of 15, we had 150. But we've done, I think, 3 debriefs on what happened and what went wrong and what we think we did well and what we need to improve on. So the local organizing committee met internally, USA Cycling met, and then I think Jeremiah met with USA Cycling. So at least 3 times to kind of look back and see what we did right and what we did wrong. So the main things I think that what we did wrong or could have done a lot better on was just the thing that became the linchpin for this whole thing was the traffic control plan. And so we couldn't get the route finalized, early on. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but MnDOT said, we'll get you a traffic control plan for a gravel race in Lanesboro, and then they never did. And so they gave us this country western concert in Iota, and that was what we started with. And that was a big event for Iota, but it's a totally different kind of event. So essentially, we had to hire the city traffic engineer to work hand in hand with Brian. It was basically Brian and the city engineers working on the traffic control plan. We didn't get a lot of input from MnDOT at all. They approved it like Tuesday, I think, of the day of the week of the event. And just to show you how that backlogged everything, we didn't finish with Brian really till like 2 o'clock on Friday. So that was a major part of it. And that all kind of tailspinned, or whatever you want to say, where we didn't have enough resources on the route in terms of certified flaggers at certain intersections. And then like a lower level type person would be like a course marshal. That's a volunteer that could handle like a very low volume intersection. So I think we lucked out. I don't know if the farmers would agree, or maybe we needed the rain, but there would have been a lot more traffic on these smaller roads had the weather been nice and everybody was out, chopping or hauling hay. So the rain before, I think, helped us in that respect. It didn't hurt the race at all in terms of attendance or anything, and it kind of cleared up the day of the event. So I can answer any questions, but mainly next year we're looking at moving it up a week. So I think that helps with resources from at least the city standpoint. We thought it would be great to try to boost Apple Fest by having more people and more people going to the beer tent and all that, and it did. But at the same time, the city has limited resources with the paid-on-call fire department and 9 police officers, and so moving it up a week, maybe I don't know how that changes in terms of what folks are doing working out in their fields, but at least we'll have not 2 events going on at the same time. So moving it up a week, I think, helps that. We can't really move it back, but it also conflicted with a couple national events that USA Cycling thinks would help bring more people. So we had, I think, 787. It could be 800, could be 900. So we need to plan for that and be even more prepared next year than this year. And then we're looking at, the routes. I think the idea that we were really spread out over the entire length of the county, and is there a way to kind of geographically do this without having like cyclists in front of someone's house all day? So the other thing that in terms of staggering the start times was we were contending with the 5K. So we had to work around the 5K. So we sent a bunch of runners off or cyclists off, and then we had to wait for the 5K, and then we could send. So I think that helps not having those 2 events. We're also looking to move it to the Apple Fest grounds, which is at the Ice Arena. So downtown, it takes a kind of a cool element. The very last climb is like a 22% climb through a city park, which basically decided every single race. But in terms of getting people through town on County 6 and kind of messing up that the downtown traffic, if we move it south, we think we can go out County 25, go up a hill right away that separates the riders, because if you have 200 people going off at the same time, I saw the route to Houston or to Hoka, and it basically traffic was going 18 miles an hour, and there's a big line of cars. So I think if we can avoid the state highway, from the get-go and just get folks kind of separated, going up the big hill first.
Yep.
So moving the location, I think, helps. And then doing a lot more upfront with working with the townships and with the homeowners. I don't think or the neighbors of getting something out the week of the event was, again, something we dropped the ball on. So all of those. So thank you, and we apologize, like I did last time I was here, that we think we've got this down a lot better. It's one of the biggest events, I think, that's come to the county. And I think we learned a lot from this first thing, and I think we're going to be much more positioned next year to stay ahead of everything. I don't know if Jeremiah wanted to add anything, or Paul.
The only thing that I think Larry kind of omitted was the schedule change too, and it's nothing finalized yet, but the proposed or considering schedule that we're looking at for next year also spreads it out quite a bit so that not all the racers are on course at once. So you have much smaller fields. Like he said, the routes would go out, like our short route would have all the resources on it at once. Then the long route with the 100-mile-ish route would have that semi-closed rolling course with all those resources. And then in the afternoon, which everything went out in the morning before 9 o'clock this year, we would then have the majority of the riders, over half the field did the 70-ish mile course. We would have all of those resources designated to that course alone at that point.
The other major enforcement thing was that we talked about on the way up here too was just folks adhering to that center line. And so you're out there in a group, and now you've got 4 to 7 riders taking up the whole road. And so we had some issues with the mailman on Chicken Ridge. He's trying to do his work, and then he's coming down the hill, and a bunch of people are coming up the hill. So I think we need to do a lot more enforcement, and spreading the riders out will help. But having more motorcycles on the route, not just for the elites, but everybody to enforce that center line rule. So that was that. So anyway, I can answer any questions, or we can, if you have any. So thank you.
Well, it sounds like you guys learned a lot this time around. I mean, be better prepared for next year.
And we're getting on it right away. I think we haven't had our first committee meeting. We've already been talking about routes a little bit. But I think in December is when we'll get going on, hopefully finalize any kind of route changes by the first part of the year. And then we can start working on permits and getting a traffic control plan and making sure that we have probably double the number of certified flaggers. We were supposed to have 10, we ended up with 8, and then I probably drove a couple hundred miles trying to move these flaggers from
Each intersection.
from Eitzen all the way back up to County 25 and Chicken Ridge, which is we couldn't get it done. So we actually had like volunteers out there doing some traffic control when we really need to, have more resources at these intersections. So people love the course. They like going through the apple orchard. They like going through the quarry, which made it unique. The Freeburg worked out great as a rest stop. They were very accommodating at Freeburg to go through and use their town hall community center. So we may now have to change, if we're changing things up a little bit, we'll have to get different rest stops and figure things out, but I think we're well ahead of the game this year, so.
How did Eitzen work out?
Pardon me?
How did Eitzen work out?
Eitzen, I went through there moving some flaggers. We got our chicken queue time wrong. It was in the evening. I went to go get chicken, and they didn't start till 6 o'clock. And so we thought there'd be a bunch of volunteers and people buying chicken, but it worked well because, we were only on the county road a little bit there, and then people used the rest stop, and then they were out of town. So I don't think we had any, we had a couple of injuries. I think it all happened at County 3 and the road that goes north, begins with an M. Malay. I think we had 3 riders go down there and they all ran into each other and got and then we had a motorcycle. We went through the wildlife management area and it had rained, as you know, and so I think he was going slow and tipped over, broke his collarbone. So as one of the officials, but I think everybody rode in, and then once they got back to La Crescent, I think one went in to get cleaned up at the hospital. So that I think again we lucked out on as well, that it was a safe event.
Did you find that with your communication, there was any dead spots that you want to try to avoid at some point next time? There are a lot of dead spots in the county, so
Right.
as far as,
It depends on how we do what we're doing for routes, but some of those are unavoidable.
Yep.
I know that we only got 30 radios, and I think we were thinking of getting 50 next year, so that everybody that needs a radio has a radio. So, but communication overall, I think went well, again, thanks to the county and Winona County as well. The other thing we didn't anticipate, or that we under-anticipated, was the Ride the Ridges bike ride. When
Yep.
they decided to change their route, it actually concentrated more people at the conflict point at 25 and Chicken Ridge Road. So now you had, instead of just a handful of riders coming through, is 200 or 300 bicyclists and traffic. The other thing I think we want to do is, there's a lot of folks that go out and support the riders. So now you have these vehicles that are going down to County 249 and the Great River Road. So then they stop there, and then they'll go ahead to either Eitzen or to Freeburg, and then you have this traffic jam that Freeburg probably hasn't seen in a long time. And then all those folks are driving north on the blacktop to get probably over to Chicken Ridge. So just better letting support and fans know the safest way to get to where they want to hand a water. Because some of them are semi-professional, they will have someone hand them a water bottle. and that's okay, but there's a lot of cars all over the road on Chicken Ridge and County 25, and you're trying to make sure everybody's getting through safely, and it's the folks that are there to support the riders that are also causing some traffic issues. So I think we need to better manage that as well.
You mentioned before, Larry, in one of the sessions about possibly limiting the route and having, duplicate the same area. I wonder if that would be more, or condensing the route would be actually more congested or difficult to handle. I mean, it sounds daunting with that 110 miles or,
Yeah,
all
to do
over.
2 loops, because then you affect those property owners longer. So that's the
Right.
trade-off. We looked at running some of the events on Saturdays, like the youth on Saturday, and the shorter route for the older folks. I think I said we had a 92-year-old doing it, so there's still hope for some of us. If by spreading them over 2 days, then it's like, well, you're volunteers. We got all the course marshaling out there, but that way the impact is less to a degree, but now it's affecting folks over 2 days instead of just 1 day. So I think we're gonna keep it to 1 day. We're looking at whether kind of nested loops work. So, yeah, it's just like, if they only go by your house once, they're there and gone. But if they go by your house twice, a second time, then it's like, well, it affects you longer in the day. So we have looked at that as well.
It also puts a lot more people on the course at once, and that
Yeah.
can make, like you said, more congestion and a safety issue.
Yeah, I think the one group, we had 452 people in the one group, so we need to figure out a way to spread those people out. And I think going up, what we call Channel 19 Hill right away, kind of spreads people out.
How many total bikers did you have?
Pardon me?
How many total bikers did you?
Well, registration 787, but I'm sure it was like in the 750 range where people didn't start. Something happened and they decided not to do it. So about 750. So that could go to 1,000, so we need to be prepared for that and figure out how to better manage resources and traffic. But I think the finish line, all the people raved about coming here, and the course itself and the scenery. And it was a tough course too, but with 8 or 9 climbs.
Yeah. And that all sounds very negative, but it was a very successful event in total. I mean, these are the issues, we're not out here to brag and say, things went well. But in the end, it was an extremely successful event. USA Cycling, all the riders were extremely happy. The fans, the attendees, spectators. So overall, obviously a huge impact on the entire, the region, the county, La Crescent and beyond. So when we have data on where people stayed and everything too, which was phenomenal, and seeing where everyone stayed across the entire county, multiple states and further beyond was incredible. Have 48 states represented here in Houston County is really cool.
So you achieved your economic benefits that you talked about. There was like 1.2 million. You thought that came to fruition?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's right around, it's really tough to exactly gauge.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you. How do you gauge?
We do the best estimate based on the numbers that are provided. So with our survey that we send out, we ask the number of nights that people spend, et cetera, and like where they stayed, if they actually came early to pre-ride, which we had.
There's a few of those.
Yeah, we had 9.3% of the respondents came a week or came prior to. So almost 10% came prior to. So call it 75 approximately spent the night, at least a night, if not multiple, to come for a pre-ride. So that impact, obviously, then the Department of Tourism puts an impact of $227 per overnight per person. We multiply those numbers out, and yeah, you have to take it with a little grain of salt. We're always conservative on our numbers. We're definitely over $1 million though in economic impact to the area.
Well, Larry, you brought up about how you thought it helped Apple Fest as far as like the beer tent and food, and you thought that
Yeah, that was-
people helped that.
Well, Thursday night, the group, the Lions and the Rotary that do the music on Thursday nights, the La Crescent Live. So Apple Fest was able to basically sell beer tickets there on Thursday night, and then doing the award ceremony at the tent. Kept people in the tent. There was no music or band to be played, but basically the tent, there was a lot of revenue, I think, from eating and at the tent during the award ceremony. So they may spread the award ceremony out, so people don't wait around till 5 o'clock if they're done at noon. But the way it's shaping up, and we have to spend more time with Apple Fest, that we would put their tents up like a week early. So we can share the cost of the tents, rather than them just paying for 3 days or 4 days. If we have the tents up, then they're all set up the week before. And then they can take advantage of that as well. So I think that helps them. And it's not been decided yet, but I don't see why they couldn't do the beer sales or whatever the week before. It's not Apple Fest, but at least they can share in that revenue from beer tent.
Or maybe some new events.
Yeah.
Music or some
Right.
entertainment, yeah.
Yeah.
Be good.
So we need to spend a little more time with Apple Fest to, like, this isn't public yet, it is now. That we're moving.
It says recorded, so
That we're moving it up a week, but, Apple Fest has been on our local organizing committee, and they have a new person, I think, coming into that role, so I think by the middle of the month, we're supposed to have more of a press announcement. They want to announce all their events for the whole year by Thanksgiving, so I think it will be official by the end of the month as to they want to announce all their national events at the same time.
Okay.
So again, thank you so much. Any other
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
questions? We appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
well, thank you for the recap.
Okay, all right.
Good to know.
Glad to do it.
Yep.
Okay, take care, thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on to consent agenda. There's 2 items on there. Number 2 is accept the resignation and retirement of Julie Rank, who's been Public Health and Human Services eligibility worker effective December 2nd. And we want to thank her for 32 years of service.
Is she here?
Make a motion to approve
Second.
1 and 2.
Yep. Is there a second?
Yeah,
Greg, okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Moving on to action items. Number 1, consider approving a CUP for Gerald Lodston to build a dwelling on less than 40 acres in the Ag District in Wilmington Township. Amelia,
Morning.
morning.
We had a very busy month with hearings last month. So the first is Jerry Lodston's CUP application for non-farm dwelling. This was a pretty standard request. During the review process, though, it was discovered that it does need a feedlot variance, which was advertised for this month. So until he gets that as well, he can't move forward. But I don't see any issue with you guys reviewing this particular proposal prior to that being approved or denied. There was no public comment on that at the hearing, from what I recall, or submitted prior to the hearing. Be standard.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's sort of a unique situation. It was an existing building site, but it just hadn't been occupied for a period of time, and so it has to be brought up to current standards.
I'll make a motion to approve.
second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. All right, number 2, consider approving the zoning amendment to rezone an area from the Ag Protection District to residential in La Crescent Township for Ronald McVeigh Credit Trust and Christine Sodak Trust.
Yeah, so Christine has been working on this for a little while. They required a variance for some septic codes, and so she sought that a couple months ago and then has now moved forward with a rezone application. This is within 2 miles of the city of La Crescent. It's in an area that is primarily marginal soils, which the comp plan does highlight. I guess it says if land is within 2 miles, it still and is prime ag, it does encourage them to remain agricultural. But I felt that this location met the policies outlined in the comp plan. So again, the Planning Commission recommended approval of this, and just with one condition that I've included in others, and that is that right now it's being proposed as one lot, but if it does get proposed to be split, they do need to plat that.
So that stipulation is included? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Planning Commission's okay?
Sorry?
Planning Commission recommends it?
Yep.
I'll
And
make
there
a-
was no public comment on this one either.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 3, consider approving the IUP for Benji and Martha Borntrager to run a level 2 home occupation consisting of construction of vinyl windows in Wilmington Township.
So this proposal is out on what was the Gooberud hog site, and so they're in the process of trying to get rid of all those portable hog buildings, and then they are going to turn that, they have an application in for a dwelling right now, and then they are going to actually utilize one of the existing manure storage structures as a foundation for this building. And so they asked for the opportunity to move their vinyl window manufacturing facility into that structure. We did have a couple neighbors comment that were concerned about a large commercial proposal coming in. Just as a type 2 home occupation, they are limited to only 6 employees and also 5,000 square feet. And so if this was going to become a much larger endeavor, this location wouldn't work for them, or they would need to seek additional approvals. So we did, along with this one, there are a couple additional conditions on top of the 2 regular, just to state that the interim use permit is only valid if the dwelling, provided the dwelling is permitted and established on site, since it's dependent upon that. And then we reiterated the maximum number of employees at 6 and 5,000 square feet, or that they're limited to 5,000 square feet. So, and then the Planning Commission did request that the applicant acknowledge that this is an agricultural district and discomforts may be experienced in the ag district at this location.
Yep.
I believe that was to address a concern brought by a neighbor.
Right. They were concerned about noise and traffic, and they wanted to make sure that they realize that they're in the ag district, and that has to be at a minimum, so.
Taking over Harris.
And they were finding it's only gonna be the people that live there are gonna be the ones doing the work.
Yeah.
Maybe a part-time, so they're gonna be way under the 6, so.
Yeah.
And the noise issue was addressed, and it's gonna be very minimal, so.
And this isn't a brand-new proposal for them. They operate this business out of their home up in Winona County right now. So it's not, they're not conjecturing. They actually kind of had answers based on facts, yeah.
Any traffic safety issues?
Not related to the business itself. They won't be coming off the state highway. There is a township road there to kind of intercept some of the slow down
So
some of
it's
the
been
traffic.
vetted through?
It's a good intersection. You can see both ways when you
Good.
come out.
Perfect.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, number 4, consider approving the IUP for Richfield Acres LLC to operate cannabis microbusiness in the Ag Protection District in Spring Grove Township.
So this is another, as Eric stated, another cannabis cultivation business. They are off of a dead-end road, and this is, and they're actually going to be all indoor. They're proposing to utilize a structure that was built in the last couple years. I believe when it was permitted, their intent was to have a tree farm out there. But I think it probably would be a great place to transition into cannabis cultivation. There's really no neighbors right on top of them or anything. They did add, the planning commission did add a condition for carbon filters being on all buildings, but there were actually no public comments for that.
Yep, it was all, they had their plans laid out, and,
Is that the one on Truman Drive?
Yep,
yep.
it was a very nice, a very well organized application, I would say.
Got that new pole shed right along the road as you come down?
No, this one is gonna be, it's probably 3/4 of a mile up a driveway. So I don't,
Down by George Sandus. George Griffin's, I meant.
yeah.
Farm right before that. They haven't built nothing yet?
No, there is a structure there that they permitted, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. And it sounded like they may have another one coming in the future, but for now, they thought the existing structure would work.
Indoor
Indoors, yeah.
facility
It's
is.
an indoor facility.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, so that, I think you guys did discuss fencing, but determined that it wasn't necessary, but since it's an indoor operation.
And they have their state rules they have to abide by too, so.
Right.
We got all the ducks in an order, the way it sounds.
Yeah,
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, number 5. Oh, that's it. Yep. All right, thank you.
Let's get back to work.
Number 5, considering WS Trucking and Construction LLC's quote for snow removal. Brian.
So, Houston County hires a contractor to help us out with snow removal of the parking lots over adjacent to the courthouse here, over at the Meyer Building. And so we went out for quotes. We received 3 quotes this year. WS Trucking was the low quote based on the number of hours used during last year's snow removal. So we used how many hours it was needed for plowing, for hauling material away with the dump trucks, and then using hand shovels and snow blowers and stuff to help out. So my recommendation is to hire WS Trucking. Again, this year, they've done it the last several years for the county. They do a good job. So I recommend approving them. And then the agreement that's in the packet, that's essentially the same as last year, minor adjustments. Ran it through the county attorney's office. And so Sue's reviewed that. So the basic changes on the agreement is the dates and the hours, or the prices to match the quote.
I'll make a motion to accept the quote.
Second.
So, I didn't get a chance to read through it thoroughly, but they charge for every time they remove snow.
Yes,
If they don't remove snow, there's no,
correct. It's only when they're here working.
only when they're being utilized, there's no like set amount that they get paid no matter what.
Minimum.
Correct.
All right,
Time and materials.
Yeah, so if there's no snow this winter, there won't be any cost.
all right.
We get that lucky.
Any other
gonna be snow.
discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 6, consider and adopt resolution number 25-38, final acceptance of the contract for Minnewa's construction for the bridge replacement on County 10.
Yeah, so this was a bridge on County 10 that was replaced earlier on this summer. Original contract, $461,933.57. Work certified, $457,591.78. So they came in about 1% under the original contract amount. So they did a good job. We've been holding off on closing this out till all the vegetation was established. So at this point, we're ready to final this out.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? It looks good out there.
It looks nice.
Looks really nice.
Yep. A lot of farmers appreciate not having that narrow bridge with railings.
Sure.
Just one question on that building that's being built there. Is that gonna be a tall shed?
I don't know the height
I was gonna ask Amelia to should have stayed for that, but.
yeah, I don't know.
Only
the
reason I
exact-
asked that, when you're coming down the valley and that shed is gonna be right there, it's gonna block the view from people coming up the valley around the corner. It's probably not gonna be a big deal, but,
It's not 2 stories.
well, I hope not,
It's a storage shed, so.
you know,
Yeah, it's a,
one-story shed.
I know,
I thought I was told 24
Yep.
feet tall.
so yeah,
Yep.
no, that's one.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
You, Brian. Number 7, consider accepting auxiliary post 6801 donation of $200 for the Veteran Service Office.
Motion to accept that, a very nice donation.
Yep, we get those periodically, so
Second,
I'll second it.
Kurt second it, Mr. Zender.
you can call me Kurt.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 8, consider initiating a competitive search for a 1 FTE Public Health and Human Service Department eligibility worker for B24. Brent?
Good morning, Commissioners. So just kind of coming off the consent agenda, we do have a retirement, Public Health and Human Services for an eligibility worker. I'll kind of let John kind of explain what the eligibility workers do. This would be, from what I gathered, is they checked eligibility for people for such as things like SNAP benefits or cash benefits. Kind of looking into everything as we've been doing through these positions when they come open and kind of reviewing them. This one seems pretty straightforward in my opinion as far as the staffing level of what they do and also comparable to other counties as well. So if you have any questions for John.
I'll just mention that our eligibility workers determine eligibility for a range of different programs. Probably one of the largest is the medical assistance program, but also SNAP food support, MFIP cash, and a variety of other categorical programs that we're essentially the agent for the state. And so, yeah, that's what this position does.
You mentioned in the justification that the systems that they're working with are aging. I don't know if they're obsolete, but they're aging and difficult, so they have to come up with some workarounds and a process to do things.
Yeah.
Is there any
Aging
remedy for that?
Aging is kind. They have, the state of Minnesota has known that their eligibility systems are dated for a very long time. The price tag to update them is significant. During the last legislative session, they put some money toward the Social Services Information System, SSIS. I think with the changes coming to us with the Reconciliation Act, there's going to be need to make many changes to that. And right now, it's kind of cobbled together with different workarounds, and it's not a stable system, hasn't been for a very long time. But it also adds to the complexity of teaching the position and onboarding them and getting them up to speed.
Yeah, the best analogy I have, it's like that AS400 green screen, 1980s style program they run off of that is mandated by the state. It's a state system that they have to utilize as.
And everybody uses that system, John,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, that isn't, we can't say, you know what, we're gonna do something a little better. It's a requirement. So, and it's something that counties had advocated for at the legislature for a long time for modernization.
Since I've been here 7
Yeah.
years, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going
And-
on for years and they haven't done anything and had plenty of opportunities to do it.
Yeah,
The budgets, and it didn't do it, so.
yeah.
But when you think about the different requirements that are coming down the pike here, maybe it's a good, of course, they could adapt to that, but probably a good thing to figure that out first before you start a new system,
Well, I think I'm
create a new system.
guardedly optimistic that there's gonna be a little more traction because a lot of the costs that are being shifted to the states in this new law are related to errors. So if your error rate is higher, you pay a higher percentage of the actual benefits in some programs. And that can be a pretty big number, and so maybe you invest that instead in upgrading the system so that we can reduce errors.
I would just highly recommend that the state goes outside to create the system instead of doing internally, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get a lobby bus together and we'll
There you
invite
go.
you.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah,
know that we're gonna be able
I
to.
share your sentiment. I often say, they know I want some deer scent and Amazon has it on my doorstep in 2 days. How can we do that? But this is so difficult. And, I mean, there's a lot of policy and it's a complex system to try and put technology around, but I've got to believe that there can be an improvement to what we currently have.
Government.
I think it's been very well documented across the state that it adds a lot of FTEs of effort to try and navigate that. But be that as it may, we're talking billions of dollars at a state level to upgrade that.
This is to replace Julie, correct?
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I appreciate you going through and looking at the different factors that affect this, the justification, and also since this is a reimbursed position, I think it's also, more of definitely just a perfunctory thing that we need to go through, but we definitely still need to look at, how can we do things differently? And it sounds like until some other things like the system changes, it's difficult for us to have to react to that, so.
Correct.
Makes sense to me.
No, I agree. The information is helpful.
Very helpful.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Did we vote?
Second.
Okay.
Gotta vote yet.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 9, consider a juvenile detention center contract with Mower County and authorized signature of Board Chair Eric Johnson. Carol?
Yes, Goodhue County, or Mower County is the only county that has returned a signed interagency agreement for the
So far.
housing of juveniles. It has gone out to
Goodhue?
Goodhue, and 2 others have been sent the contract. We just haven't heard back from them yet,
Okay.
4 total counties that we're possibly looking at?
possibly.
Nice.
So we always had Mower and Goodhue, right? With
Right,
there's 2 other ones that are possible?
yes. I believe Olmsted County was looking at it, and actually Fillmore County was sent the contract.
Okay,
That's all I know of for right now
all
that's
right.
been indicated.
Would we have to have a motion every time a contract comes in for you to sign it?
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
contract.
They're
It's a yearly
individual.
contract, right?
They're individual contracts.
We're authorizing, this is just to authorize him to
Aboard the
sign
board
it.
chair.
Yes, for him to sign it.
To sign the contract with,
Mauer, wouldn't it be a blanket thing? If we blanketed it, you could sign them and we'd be okay with it?
Well, I think it's just nice to have it bring to the board to.
Oh, no, I'm not
so
saying
you guys
that. I
know
just-
that there's this contract that we're going to approve.
I just didn't know that we're authorizing you for the Mauer one and if they thought we would turn around and say, for Fillmore, no, we don't want you to sign that.
Are they different contracts, though? There could
no,
be.
they're the same, and actually Sue did review this one this year, made a couple changes from the one that Sam had put together.
Okay,
Okay,
so when there's a change.
She'll be
that's
signing
what
it
we can review.
after
Yeah.
you sign it to attest to form and
all right. Is
execution.
Motion to approve.
there a second?
Yep.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 10, consider reviewing and approving payments. Any questions on those?
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? See, the snowpack one that went through, is that for the EDA loan?
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Administrative updates,
So I had.
administrator updates.
I had, I had sent you the information from Sherburne County regarding the Minnesota Nuclear Energy Alliance. I didn't know if that was something that you wanted to investigate further, if you wanted to adopt the resolution that they had sent. I don't,
Yeah, I read that
difference for
resolution.
us,
Yeah,
or-
it's basically a resolution to encourage the state of Minnesota to lift the moratorium on possible
yeah.
nuclear energy considerations.
They should make a decision.
Right. So it's something as a board, if we wanted to do that, we could, draft a letter similar to that to say we support that effort.
I would 100% support that and think we should draft a letter.
I think it'd be a good thing to do, yep.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so.
Get
I'll
that together
that
next
ready
time.
and- For the next meeting,
Yeah, the third
whenever that is.
Third,
You
Tuesday.
sent that out, didn't you, Carol? Yeah.
Yes, the 18th. I guess I would have to say that we did have an instance of a fraud attempt on our bank account. A check that was prepared by somebody with an address from California, $5,500, came through our bank. They kind of said there wasn't really much they could do about it. Chris Frick went over for an investigation. At the bank where the person was making the deposit, it was like a mobile deposit only. But the bank where they were making this deposit rejected it. So we are now implementing Positive Pay, where we will be sending them a file with every check that we print. That'll be compared with the checks that come in, and they won't be paid unless we approve it without it being on that list. So,
Okay.
So it was not stopped
It was-
from the bank, or for authorized on behalf of Houston County, but it was stopped at whoever was trying to deposit?
cash.
Really? Oh.
So if it was stopped there, that means we're not out the money, right?
right.
Yep.
Well, it was taken out of our account and put back in.
Yep.
Because that bank sent it back. But I was just kind of surprised that our bank,
Yeah, do they have any safeguards for that? That's concerning.
well,
I'm
this
sure
is,
they will now.
this is our safeguard,
Yep.
doing this.
Good.
And until we get it all set up, I have to approve every check we print.
Goodness.
I still don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, it's just a good checks and balance.
And we should have had it before.
We are in such a, ask Andy, our cyber stuff now is crazy.
It's crazy, is right.
A lot of times something has to pop up before you have something in place that can prevent it. And watch out for it, but that's good.
We've also been having an issue in the auditor treasurer's office with the automatic scan that sends the check information to the bank electronically. There were 2 ways to send this file to the bank, and neither one of them seems to be working anymore. They did an update. So they are providing a standalone scanner, and it should be delivered today to get it set up so that they don't have to, run a tape for all the checks and
Oh,
stamp them all to get the deposits in the bank, so.
It's good.
Go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
For the board chair, I don't really have a whole lot. I've been pretty busy in the field, so. I think we have an extension meeting coming up here this week, this Thursday.
This, I thought it was December. but-
Is it December? Maybe it is December. I have to double check that.
Last one got canceled.
Yep. It is December. We're just getting our reports early.
December 4th, ain't it?
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right.
I've been wrong before.
Yep. So I don't have a whole lot. So we'll go to Commissioner Wright.
Oh, let's see. I've had, seems like a few Selco meetings recently, just to get reorganized, and governance committee meetings. We had department head meeting for October yesterday. I also have a transportation summit to go to in La Crescent for that area for safety concerns for walk to school. I have a workforce development meeting this week, and I think that's about it for this week. But we do have a work group meeting the 12th, is that right? It's an
At
hour
5,
before the
5
public
o'clock. At
hearing?
At 5,
Okay.
yep, before a public hearing. So Selco is agreeable to the 2%?
No, I haven't even talked to them about that yet. No, this is kind of leading up to that.
The answer to that would be,
Just curious.
Unknown at this time.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll work it out somehow. Their system was down. Library systems, their computer system was past weekend, I know, because I was actually in the library talking to somebody about that. And so, once again, with their different funding loss, they've kind of suffered in the county with that as well. Oh, and we also have EDA tomorrow. Did I mention that?
Yeah, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. 8:05. Yep. Commissioner Zender.
we had the Winona thing, interesting for the first time going there. Airport meeting went well. Obviously, they've broke ground and they're hoping to get concrete in the ground prior to getting too cold out there. They do have the heat blankets and some different contingencies in place if they need it, and then they'll just be waiting for delivery of the framework, correct, Gov?
Yep, steel's gotta come.
Yep, and then, more talk on if the entire front row or not the entire front row of hangars have to be moved, maybe hangar 3, which holds, is it hangar 3? Holds 3 planes.
That's the big one there.
Yes.
That'd be terrible to have to take that down.
Yeah. So it might possibly get to stay there. We would lose one tie down if it does stay there with the new configuration, but I think the consensus of the whole group was that that's probably okay, because taking that down would essentially removing 3. If I missed something, please.
I think it holds 4, but there's only 3.
Right. That's one of the nicer hangars out there, especially for that group.
Why would that have to happen?
Because of the configuration of how our runway is, we
New
actually.
taxi lane or something?
Yeah, well, we enter the runway here, and it, by standard, should be at the end of it.
Okay.
So you got a green space, all this, which brings this back, which then causes the front row, to get into jeopardy, because we are required to have, per the size of our airport, X amount of outside tie downs. So, I think we've got really good interest, and a lot of people have actually talked about, well, if you're building these hangars, and the courtesy car got brought up again. He did get that email that didn't see it. I'm like, okay, it's all good. He's got it. So, I think that courtesy car thing is really gonna be very beneficial to,
I had a farmer asked if he could use that to go in to take lunch when he's in the field.
just take the courtesy car.
Yeah,
Well, I got enough. He can stop at my place. It's the same thing. I won't require as much.
Car?
Um,
Would you be walking or driving to it?
If I have a flat tire on the way to town, I can jump in the courtesy car.
just come to my place. I'll get
Can
you.
get the code.
Right. So actually, I
Forgot
did,
about the code.
so I did talk to our city staff about that, and they were really okay with having that at the city during the day, and then, we would suggest that dispatch would have it at night, so if someone flew in at night and needed the car to get to a motel or bed and breakfast, whatever, dispatch would have it after, after 4 o'clock, then we would revert to dispatch. So city didn't have any issue whatsoever about, at least at that particular time, didn't have any issue with it. So that's pretty, encouraging. It's kind of exciting to get that car going out there and seeing what opportunities bring to Caledonia and the surrounding area. Sheriff Swedberg did call and ask some questions. I think he called everybody individually. Asked some questions. I asked some questions back. He hasn't got back to me yet. So that's really all I got right now.
It just reminded me that, talked about the city of Caledonia. I got a call from the mayor of Caledonia
Oh,
about
yes.
the Mayo building situation, and he was wondering if we as a county would be interested in submitting like a joint letter to try to encourage Mayo to either stay or to allow the city to utilize that building for the same use, but somebody else.
Well, and the key to that, Elaine, and I just met with Jeremy on Monday. I meet with him every Monday. The key to the whole thing is there's not a lot of transparency coming from that side of the game right now. And to hold the building hostage over Caledonia, I mean, it's not just people from Caledonia that use the clinic up there, and the multiple different reasons that they gave regarding why they're leaving, doesn't add up. You can't tell your employees one thing and then tell my city another thing. So that being said, I think that's part of the frustration that goes with it, and the fact that Caledonia and surrounding is big enough, we need a clinic. And if they're not going to continue with a clinic here, then Caledonia's position, and I think I can talk for them, is give us the building so we can put somebody in it. Because we need a clinic in town.
So has that been addressed with them?
They did,
Is it
and they
purely
got the
financial
runaround
decision on
and
their
pretty much
behalf?
told no. I mean, the mayor was extremely frustrated about it, and so was,
What are they gonna do with it then?
Mayo? Sell it.
They own the building, right, Mayo?
yes. And it didn't even sound like they were like overly, like we're gonna get it sold. I mean, it was just kind of, well,
Yeah, see,
That's all
I'm,
right.
I don't have I have no communication with it, so I was just going by
right.
what.
So I
he
think
was
the
saying.
mayor is just asking that, hey, it's a clinic in Houston County, and as a Houston County board, we should not be pleased about having a health clinic be moving from our community. So I think that's what he's asking for our support, and of course, I would 100% support that.
Yeah, I encourage him to, keep us up to date, and, I think he should work with the Caledonia EDA and our Houston County EDA as well on that situation to try to resolve the issue, to make sure if Mayo is not gonna be there, that we can have somebody else be there
Right?
to provide the service.
It is, it's,
What other kind of?
We also don't want the city to get stuck with the building.
Right. Yeah.
How would that happen?
so, yeah.
How would that happen? I mean, it's not Mayo, it's Mayo's building.
Yeah, but if
They
they,
own the building.
Yeah, but if the city is interested in the building,
Huh?
I would, caution that this, we don't want the city to get stuck with the building either.
we wanted to make, so if the city were to get the building, that it's going to be utilized by someone else.
They
They
have
don't
been-
need another building on their hands.
No, they have been in talks, that if they were to, acquire the building, that there is some interested, medical facilities that would be interested in putting a clinic here.
I'm really positive that Mayo isn't going to support another medical center or somebody else coming in. So, I mean, good luck with
Hence-
that conversation.
hence why
That's
they're-
competition for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
So
whoever,
that's probably
Purely
not gonna happen.
financial. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's purely financial why they're pulling out of the places that they
So
are.
we don't-
Talk to,
Because they don't have enough revenue
right,
in their mind.
billion plus.
But, and an empty building is nothing to them. It's happened before.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
I mean, they built new clinics here not too far away.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, it's.
I
it's-
I'm just saying. I hope, I'll keep my fingers crossed on it, but just working with them in the past, I
not-
know that
It's not a shortage of money in Mayo.
I think, no.
that's all I
It's a
have.
benefit.
what kind of people can we get to come in there then? Some different, medical,
You know, that's-
how many's out there?
That's something that should be figured out.
And
That's why I say we should work with, have the EDAs work on this
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, have the mayor and council and the
Mm-hmm.
county board can look at all that and
And
see
you
what we can do.
medical systems aren't really in the business of renting. They don't want to be landlords either, so it's probably something that they'd push to try to sell it, you know, or just leave it empty, because that benefits them as well.
So you did get
The waste.
copy of the facts that we received yesterday, effective November 7th.
This week.
Yeah.
3
This week.
days. Yeah, that was
It had originally been December.
That's Friday, I believe.
a
is the
month
last day.
early at least, isn't
So we
it?
moved
It's like
it
a
up
month
then.
early, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all their employees left.
Oh, well, then no use to stay hoping then if you have nobody to fill
That
it.
was, that's funny, cause I was just there this morning and there was-
Self-preserve, yeah.
So these signs that are around town, do you guys see those of this community? Something, there's one out, have you seen that? Yeah, Allison, who is that that's starting that up? It's a daycare and what is it supposed to be?
No, it's,
John,
it's
can
like
you?
a care,
I can speak to it.
Oh, the nurse practitioner? Is that
Yeah,
what we're
that's
talking
ones
about?
that got these square signs around town about daycare and community health and.
I believe Erin Mittendorf's wife.
I don't know whose wife.
I believe you're right.
Yes, that's her name. Amanda Mittendorf.
Yeah. The individual has opened a clinic. She is a, nurse practitioner and able to do a variety of things that, doctors do. Has a background in, long-term care. So Jordan and I met with her several weeks ago. Potential to do some home care. We're beginning to send referrals her way. I don't know that she's in a position to replicate what Mayo was doing, at least at this point.
Not the facility.
Yeah. And
So she's gonna be like mobile or something?
she's got a small space over at Smooth Toe.
Oh, okay.
She also doesn't do pediatric patients, but is working with the possibility of having somebody join her practice to do pediatrics. Kind of a, if there's need, then she can expand to that. It was a very good conversation and, you know, I think it's a piece of the puzzle, but it's not big enough operation to be able to fill the gap that Mayo is leaving.
It's actually not an official clinic either, so she has contracted lab services, right?
Yeah,
And all
correct.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So she's a registered nurse or a doctor of some sort?
She's
Nurse
a
practitioner.
nurse practitioner. So that means that she can prescribe meds. She can do a lot of things that doctors can do.
And they're operating on a smooth toe right now.
Correct, she's got a small space there that she's renting at Smooth Toe.
What's that?
Article in the at the city council
I've had
meeting.
that for years, it's no help for me.
yeah, it's just her right now, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
Which would be great for expanding services and appointments.
She could bring more people with her over here and maybe utilize the Mayo building eventually.
Maybe.
If Mayo will let them do
agreed
so.
to that, yeah.
I have nothing else.
Okay, thanks, John.
Yeah.
Commissioner Schultz.
Oh, we got personnel again today. things cooking there, so
Right.
more to come. Other than that, just was gonna throw a reminder out about being we don't have a meeting next week or workshop, that we have, our public hearing that next Wednesday. Being we had the one last week or whatnot, some people must have either watched it or read it in the paper or whatnot, cause I did get a little bit of feedback on that, people questioning why and, having some questions, so I encouraged them to maybe come to the public meeting we got coming up, so at least the word's getting out, kinda hearing some concerns about it, so.
Yep.
Thank you to the media for helping us get that, out a little bit.
Okay. Commissioner Mary?
I just had the airport with Kurt. He covered that all pretty well. And I guess the main reason why we gotta move all those hangars is because of a new lighting system that they wanna put in for double twin engines.
Okay.
That's the main reason what we're trying to do here. I don't know, did they say anything about moving our runway over a little bit so we could keep that building?
No, it was
Didn't say anything when I was there.
just the bigger one, I think, because of how the setbacks of the landing area there. Because the airport can support a King Air, a 9-passenger King Air twin turboprop. So I mean, it will support that big of a plane. And because of the bigger the plane, obviously, the more of the setbacks you need. So it's all interesting stuff, and it's all FAA money, and there's phases to everything. So one of the hot topics was the lights itself. We have to get away from, Carol, what was it? We have to go away from halogen lights, and there's 51 of them out there, and you can't buy them anymore. And so,
But they're extremely expensive.
and trying to find them.
All of those, we probably won't be able to find them anymore.
So they gotta be switched over to
LED.
LED, and that would require, Silas was saying there's a process to that too, that FAA would pay for, but it's on the 27, 28, 27.
We'd have to pay, it's what, 300,000 to put the new lighting in, I think they said. We'd have to pay 2%, right?
Yeah, we gotta pay 2% of 300,000. So, I think it'll be like $6,000 to put all the lights in. And it'll be LED, which, if you figure that out, what she's spending on lights times 51 lights, and she's trying to stockpile them, Sheila, she's trying to stockpile them because they're so hard to come by and find. So, I mean, we probably sitting on more than $6,000 in lights, so.
What'd she say, 40 a year they put in or something like that?
41 a year and there's 51 lights.
Go through
Yeah,
all
have
of
a
them.
plan for that.
I've had a lot of people ask about what we're building out there, so, and I explained to them what it is, and I explained to them that this is federal and state money, so it's not a lot of levy money, so.
Well, we're gonna build 8 T hangars, and I think they're all spoken for but one, right, Kurt?
Right, we're up to all but one are technically spoken for.
New customers or old customers?
Some new and some old.
And there's been multiples that have reached out. What did they say? Did multiple people reach out about renting a hangar, because they wanna fly in here and have a place to put their plane? But there's rules to that also, so
Then we had some inquiries about overnight rentals.
overnight rental is the next
I
thing.
don't like their planes sitting out, I suppose.
Well, I guess if you spend that much money on a plane, I don't want it outside either.
Okay.
That's, I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Personnel today.
Any closing public comment? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
You guys were fast on the trigger. Wow.